Unit 168. Get used to. Well, this construction is used for the process of acquiring experience and ability. In the beginning, we are less experienced, then we get used to something. We go through a process of gaining experience. Get used to. Get is the verb. Окей? Така. Get used to на български най-често ще превеждаме като свиквам. Свиквам с нещо. Свиквам да правя нещо. Така. Обърнете внимание, че get used to винаги след тази фраза ние ще имаме ing форма. В този контекст to е предлог. Get used to doing something. Окей? Свиквам да правя нещо. Used to is a completely different construction. It means a habit in the past. Used is the verb in the past tense. Okay? Used to така е една изцяло различна структура и смисълът вече е различен, означава навик в миналото, нещо, което сме учили. Used is the verb in the past tense. Okay? Used е глаголът в минало време. Examples. I have been living in Australia for 5 years. At the beginning, I wasn't used to living abroad. В началото не бях свикнал не бях свикнал да живея в чужбина. And driving on the left. И да шофирам отляво. But I got used to it. Но свикнах с това. I got used to it. Okay? Got is the verb and we have the past simple tense. The next example that we have, well, I have a new job. We start work at 8. This means I must get up at 6. I have to get used to getting up early. Okay? I have to get used to getting up early. Още веднъж, внимание, get used to, свиквам. Така, след структурата get used to, винаги имаме ing форма, използвайки глагол. Yes? I used to live in a small town. Well, this is the next example that we have. I used to live in a small town. Last year I moved to the capital. I find traffic awful. I'm getting used to driving on busy streets and traffic jams. Okay, I'm getting used to. Свиквам. Okay? Във фразата get used to, get е глагол, той приема граматичните времена. Okay? В минало време I got used to something. Present. Okay, I get used to something or doing something. The continuous, I am getting used to. Okay, future, I will get used to or I'm going to get used to. Yes. Okay, well, that was the grammar part. Let's go now. Okay, now we have a text. Global warming. Get used to it. Okay, we shall talk about get used to and the use of get used to. So here is the text. Let's read it. Britain experienced its hottest July day on record last week and forecasters say more is to come as climate change tightens its grip on the country. Global warming experts claim that by 2050 temperatures will regularly top 40 degrees Celsius and warn that our health and infrastructure will be unable to cope. The most inconvenient truth about global warming is that we cannot stop it. Please don't mistake me for a skeptic. I am fully persuaded by the evidence that climate change is real and serious. The trouble is, if you accept all these facts and theories about global warming, it is difficult to see how any human response launched today can avert it. Don't get the idea that the author is saying, throw up your hands and give up. In fact, he says, we should start thinking about getting used to it. But he also says, many environmental advocates fear that talking about coping with global warming will hamper efforts to slow it down. In fact, we have no alternative but to do both. Mitigation and adaptation complement each other. In both cases, the crucial need is to stop talking and start acting. Global warming is real. Start getting used to the idea of global cooling in the next 5 years. I'd rather try and reduce our impact on the environment now, than realize 50 years down the road that we're destroying the Earth. Global warming is the increase in the average temperature of the Earth's near surface, air, and ocean in recent decades. According to scientists and experts, this is due to the increase of greenhouse gas concentrations, which leads to warming of the surface and lower atmosphere by increasing the greenhouse effect. Direct manifestations of a widespread and long-term trend toward warmer global temperatures are heat waves and periods of unusually warm weather, ocean warming, sea level rise, and coastal flooding, glaciers melting, Arctic and Antarctic warming, events that are likely to become more frequent and widespread with continued warming, spreading disease, early spring arrival, plant and animal range shifts and population changes, coral reef bleaching, okay, a bit more, downpours, heavy snowfalls and flooding, droughts and fires. Solutions are in sight. We already know where heat-trapping gases come from: power plants and vehicles. And we know how to curb their emissions: modern technologies and stronger laws. We must start working to put these fixes in place. How? By getting used to the perception of global warming not as an abstract threat but a pressing reality. By promoting online activism. By pressing businesses to use less energy and build more efficient products. By fighting for laws that will speed these advances. Okay, here are some questions. Do you care about nature? Okay. Can you do anything to solve environmental problems? What is it? Do you think that if each one of us uses less water and energy, rides a bike and walks more, throws less garbage and collects it to be recycled, there is a solution to the problems? Firstly, my question is, what is this text about? What did you understand? It's about global warming, yes? Okay. And it is not an abstract threat, but a reality, something real, okay, that threatens our life, our planet, yes? Okay. So, now, back to the questions. Do you care about nature? Okay, I think that everybody should care about nature, because the Earth is our home, this is our planet, and there is no one else that can do anything about our planet. Okay, we're the ones that should care about our planet. Okay, can you do anything to solve environmental problems? What is it? Okay, it's a difficult question and a topic that we can discuss on really quite a lot. Okay, so what can you say here? Try to express yourself. Do you think that there is something that we can do and it will help really? Okay, so don't you think that the first thing that must be changed is our way of thinking? Okay, right now we have become a society of consumers. We want everything right now. We want everything that we see on TV and on the internet, yes? Okay, don't you think that this is one thing that we should change, the way we think? Yes? Okay, and okay, let's go to the next question that we have. Do you think that if each one of us uses less water and energy, rides a bike and walks more, throws less rubbish and collects it to be recycled, well, there is a solution? I think yes. Okay, in fact, this is what I have just said. Okay, to change our way of thinking there. And if we really understand that it depends on us, I think it's a step forward. Okay, the text is really great, but let's go on with the grammar part. Okay, let's look at some words here. Words from the text. Global warming. Глобално затопляне. Inconvenient. Неудобен. Convenient. Inconvenient. Удобен, неудобен. Response. Отговор. Launch. Започвам, предприемам. В буквален смисъл изстрелвам. Ракета. Avert. Отблъсквам, предотвратявам. Advocate. Защитник, защитавам, пледирам за. To cope with. Справям се с. To cope with. Well, this is a verb. Hamper. Затруднявам, да попреча. Mitigation. Облегчаване. Adaptation. Приспособяване, адаптация. Комплимент. Допълвам. Crucial. Съдбоносен, важен. Impact. Влияние. Average. Средностатистически, среден. Surface. Повърхност. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Decade. Looking here. Okay, going on. Decade. Десетилетие. Greenhouse. Парник. Greenhouse gas. Парникови газове. Manifestation. Проява. Widespread. Широко разпространен. Тренд. Тенденция. Melt. Топя се. Разтопявам се. Bleach. Обезцветявам, избелвам. Drought. Суша. Okay, here's the word. Solution. Решение. Power plant. Електроцентрала. Vehicle. Превозно средство. To curb. Да обуздая. Perception. Възприемане. To promote. Да поддържам, да подкрепям. Okay, we have general knowledge questions. The idea is to understand and to express yourself, actually to say, do you agree with what we have or no? So, question 1. Okay, the ozone in the upper atmosphere is harmful to your health. Well, I don't think so. No. Question 2. High concentrations of ozone gas at ground level are harmful only for humans. Okay, is ozone gas harmful? Well, I don't think so. No. Okay. Question 3. Some scientists believe that the ozone layer is getting thinner. Definitely yes. Okay, this is something that I know. Okay, question 4. Ozone pollution is a world problem. Okay. Yes, of course. This is what we talk about. Okay, let's move on. Question 5. The elderly are the only people at risk from ozone pollution. Okay, I don't think so. Everybody is at risk. Okay, no. 6. Cars and trucks are the only sources of pollution. No. The big plants, yes, are sources of pollution too. Yes. Question 7. Large industrialized areas and cities with heavy traffic are the main causes of ozone formation. Okay. Well. Large industrial areas and cities with heavy traffic are the main causes of ozone formation. Okay. What do you think? Okay, I would say yes. I mean, the ozone as a greenhouse gas. Okay. So large industrialized areas in cities with heavy traffic are the main sources of ozone as a greenhouse gas. This is what I think, but I'm not quite sure really. Okay, question 8. There is nothing I can do to solve the ozone problem. Okay. No, I think that if everybody does what is necessary, we can really make things better. Okay. Number 9, our lungs are constantly interacting with the environment. Okay, to interact, a nice word to know. Interact, хубава дума, взаимодействам. Okay, our lungs, okay, are constantly interacting with the environment. Definitely, yes. Okay. And question 10, many people live in areas with air pollution. Definitely, yes. Okay, let's go on. So this is our next exercise. Used to do, okay, a phrase that we know, a habit in the past, or get used to doing something. Okay, the idea of acquiring some kind of ability. Така, get used to в контекста на свиквам и used to do something, обърнете внимание, нещо, което се е случвало в миналото, вече не, изразяване на навици в миналото. Okay, Nick, be in a terrible condition. Now he's really fit. It means that he is no longer in a terrible condition. So, he used to be. Yes? Question 2. I changed my job. I'm trying to working in shifts. Right now, I'm trying what? To get used to working. Опитвам се да свикна. I'm trying to get used to. Okay? Обърнете внимание, след get used to, ing форми. Нещо изключително важно. Number 3. She moved to a flat in the city center. She says she can't all that noise and dirt there. She can't get used to all the noise and dirt. Okay. After get used to, we have a noun or an ing form. Question 4. My grandfather retired last week. Now he's having a lot of free time. He's getting used to having a lot of free time. Once again, the ing form here. Yes, pay attention. Question 5. You must writing new words 20 times. You must get used to writing new words 20 times. Трябва да свикнеш. You must get used to writing new words 20 times. Moving on. Okay. Question 6. I like Anne, but now she's getting on my nerves. I used to like her. It means that I don't like her anymore. Now she's getting on my nerves. I don't like her anymore. But in the past, I used to like her. Okay. 7. When I was single, I have a lot more free time than I do now. I used to have. Okay. Something that was in the past but not anymore. I used to have a lot of free time. Okay, a lot more free time than I do now. 8. When she became famous, she started receiving a lot of invitations and had to what? Get used to traveling a lot. И трябваше да свикне с пътуване. Okay, so get used to. Yes. Question 9. Young children must spending a lot of time in fresh air At a very early age. Okay, pay attention to the prepositions. At an age. Okay, на възраст. Okay, at a very early age, в ранна възраст. Young children must what? Get used to. Трябва да свикнат, да прекарват много време на свеж въздух, така от ранна възраст. Young children must get used to doing something. And number 10, you are already 15. You should making your bed in the morning. Okay, so you should get used to making your bed in the morning. Okay, well, that's it. And our next exercise, fill in the gaps with the correct form of the verbs. We have to use an infinitive or an ing form. We know get used to something or doing something. Okay? Свиквам с нещо или вършенето, правенето на нещо, ing форма. И I used to do something in the past. Okay? An infinitive after used to. Now, number 1. It took me a long time to get used to what? Go shopping, wear, share, eat, go, not get, have dinner, use, live, clean. Okay, definitely wearing. Yes. Okay. Wearing contact lenses. 2. If you want to lose weight, you should get used to less. Okay, eating less. You should get used to eating less. 3. When the twins were born, she had to get used to. Okay, she had to get used to not getting enough sleep. Okay. Обърнете внимание къде е отрицанието тук. She had to get used to not getting enough sleep. Хубава фраза to get sleep, да поспя. To get enough sleep, да спя достатъчно. Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry, it's not here. Okay. Okay, once again, she had to get used to not getting enough sleep. Number 3. They moved to Greece last year, but they still can't get used to. Okay, what? What can we say? Maybe having dinner so late, yes? Once again, we have the ing form. Get used to doing something. 5. We bought our grandparents a DVD for their wedding anniversary. Now they will have to get used to what? Using it. Yes? 6. Frank is going to Germany to study international law. He will have to get used to what? Living alone. Okay. Once again, get used to doing something. Yes. 7. They bought a big house last week. Now she's getting used to what? Cleaning it. Okay. She's getting used to cleaning it. Свиква да я чисти. Because the house is really big. Yes. 8. Children at the age of 6 or 7 have to get used to what? Have to get used to, okay, going to school. 9. Teenagers must get used to what? Okay, more responsibilities at home. Sharing, to share more responsibilities. Okay. Yes. And number 10, an enormous supermarket was built in our neighborhood last summer. I have already got used to once a week. It saves a lot of time. Okay. What can we say here? An enormous supermarket was built. in our neighborhood last year. I have already got used to what? Going shopping. Okay, there once a week. Yes, going shopping. Yes. Okay, that's it.